Hey Virgos, welcome to Vivid Vibration Tarot. My name is Christina. I hope that y'all are well. Virgos, we have the Shaman, the Underworld, the Mountain, the Sustainer, the Poet, the Offering, and Eros. Virgos, I feel like there's some taking charge here. The Underworld and the Shaman. The Shaman is the idea that if you hold on to one facet of an experience, you miss out on the entirety of the experience, right? It's like mental, physical, spiritual, but if you just hold on to like one part of that, then you miss out on the rest of it. And the other part of that, the part that you cling to, becomes out of balance and just undesirable. And I feel like there's an idea here of you. I want to, and take it how it resonates. These are general reads, but I want to say there's an idea here of you seeking your value out of some sort of like external source. Whether that's your, like how much you get paid, or what type of job you have, or well, I'm this type of person, and like if it's a spiritual thing, if you're like, well, I'm this, I'm trying to practice light and love, but when you only focus on that, none of the bad gets dealt with, and the bad starts to take over, and that's all other people are seeing, or you know what I mean. But it's just this idea of like, you feel like if you could just do this one thing, then everything else would fall into place. And I feel like it's, you are really letting that go and discovering like that you have value outside of these external things that you were using to just establish your boundaries, establish your worth. But I think that you were finding that it wasn't sustainable. And I don't know whether or not you're making an offering or somebody else is making an offer to you, but there's an offer being made of sustainability, of taking the bad and turning it into something beautiful, right? The poet is able to find, the beauty in the pain. And I feel like there's an idea here that you're finding the beauty in the pain of struggles that you've experienced from holding on to one element, and you're bringing healing to those by like, I want to say like releasing control and discovering, allowing yourself the opportunity to discover your own personal beauty, your own value, your own worth. Virgs, I feel like there's just been this constant for like a minute now of like, it's not like you don't lack value. Your value isn't in your ability to change other people. It isn't in your ability to do things better than other people can do them. You know what I mean? Like, you have your own purpose in your, and it's not just about how you can control everything around you, right? And I don't say that as like a, you're controlling and you're trying to do all those things. It's just in your nature, right? And that's not a bad thing. It's a beautiful thing to be a Virgo. Virgos can pay attention to things that nobody else pays attention to. Like you can pick up the slack and the details that get missed along the way, because there are a lot of people who are big picture people, and so sometimes when you're big picture, you're moving big things, and you need the people to help you to get all of the little details along. And that's like where Virgo is like on point. Like you can always rely on a Virgo to notice any of the little details that go unwanted or missed, but are important details. It's a gift. It's a talent. It's a wonderful thing to be a Virgo. It's not bad. It's just that when you feel like that's the only thing that you have to do, and then you hyper focus on it, then you miss out on the big picture, and you become, like just fixated on a detail. And it's just kind of like, if you can let that go, you can open yourself up to all of the things that you're wanting to try and like dictate into existence, I want to say. And just receive what it is that you want, right? I mean, I want to say one of your reads was like a 5 out of 5, not a 3 out of 5, right? Like you want somebody who's going to be where you're at already, and appreciate what it is that you have to offer, not somebody who you need to change to be more in alignment with you. You have the Hermit and the Moon, the Two of Pentacles, the Ten of Swords, and the Seven of Pentacles. Again, I feel like it's this idea of really having to pull away from this habit, release this mentality, and trust your intuition. Like lean into, like the process of things unwinding, and don't try to control everything, because when you do, it prevents you from engaging in sincere partnerships, right? And that's just been steady in your reads. And it's just kind of like we all have those things that we really struggle with. Virgos, this just happens to be your thing that you're struggling with. But you can move past it. You can grow beyond it. Because what is growth and development if not evolution of self? It's not our job to push people in their own development and their own journeys, because we don't have the intimate knowledge of others, in the same way that others don't have an intimate knowledge of ourselves. And so, it's important that you trust that there are factors that you're not always aware of. Like even a Virgo who notices all of the details doesn't know everything. And so it's just kind of this idea again of like, if you could just release that need to control, like release the need that like, if I was doing this would be better, and trust that you can rely on others, then you'll be able to cultivate healthier relationships. Because if you're just nitpicking and then wanting people to appreciate you, it just doesn't work. Okay, Virgs. The Lovers and the Seven of Swords. Yes, I mean, for a lot of my Virgs, honestly, I feel like there's an idea here of a relationship that's coming into your life. I mean, Eros, the Lovers, the Six of Cups. I feel like the Poet, there's an idea of like just like romantic ideology, like a sense of romance, and I almost just feel like saying like past relationships, past mistakes, past concerns, learn from those lessons, move on, and take the pain and turn it into something beautiful. But just trust the people that you're working with, that they are also seeking to create beauty with you, and that you don't need to fight, or to be ready for a fight. Like release that need to be ready for a fight, and allow for the kindness and the consideration, and that side of you to be what other people experience. The Apocalypse and the Dead End. Yeah, I feel like that's a warning of release it. Release this compulsive tendency to need to control. It's not going to get you anywhere. It hasn't gotten you anywhere. And it will continue to get in your way if you can't just let go and trust. And maybe you just need to remind yourself of that. Sometimes we get a knee-jerk reaction, and just acknowledge it, breathe through it, let it go, right? Don't allow it to dictate you, because when you can't prevent it from dictating yourself, then it starts to touch other people. It spreads. And that's not what you want, and I think you have an opportunity to, create something that you actually want with someone who wants those things too, but just, try to mind your battles, and trust the process. All right, Virgos, I love this for y'all. I hope that it resonates. Please give me a like, share, and subscribe if it does, and I will see y'all again soon. Bye.